Here now, Terry Holt, a Republican strategist and former senior advisor to House Speaker John Boehner. Good to see you again. So this unity pledge, how important is it for House Republicans to get their ducks in a row and in order before taking this to a vote on the floor?
It's critically important that these Republicans unite behind a consensus candidate. But remember, these 9 candidates are running for a job that it takes a whole career to get, typically. The relationships that you establish, the legislative expertise that you learn, the wheels of power and how they spin. These guys are coming in with relatively little experience and no name ID and trying to find a consensus position that 217 Republicans can unite behind before they go back to the floor. I think it's a daunting challenge for any of them, even if you're a Tom Emmer who has some experience. It's going to be tough to unify all the factions of the party at this stage.
And does it make it even more difficult, the fact that there are 9 candidates potentially for the job?
Well, yeah, of course, you'd want to see everybody coalescing around 1 or 2. But see, that's just the nature of where we are. I mean, as McHenry said, we're at a reset. It starts over. And what we're trying to do in the next few days is something that it typically takes a whole lifetime to do, to prepare to be a Speaker of the House so that you can do the job, the tough job that it really is. It's really a daunting program for anybody who has the willingness to put their name forward.
And is it more or less likely, do you think, Terry, that the nominee will be a MAGA Republican?
Well, I think the fate of Jim Jordan puts a dent in the aspirations of the MAGA wing of the Republican Party. I think the institutionalists, the folks that run the committees, that are the folks that have been around the longest in the House, the appropriators, that they don't want to see that MAGA wing take over the House. So I think Jim Jordan was their candidate. They did as well as they're going to do. And now we have to turn our attention to somebody that has a little bit more independent stripes.
As you mentioned, Tom Emmer, the Republican from Minnesota, probably has the most name recognition. Certainly people will recognize his face if they follow this closely. Do you believe he is the right person for this job? And what will be his pitch to his fellow Republicans?
Well, he's a good pick because he's got some experience. He knows how to win campaigns. He knows how to raise money. He's been in the room when decisions have been made. He's been part of formulating a winning GOP agenda that took over the House just a year ago. So I think it's just a matter of coalescing around the person that has the highest recognition in the conference and that has the best relationships in the conference. And I think coming from the job of whip, he has the inside track.
And what does he have working against him?
Well, for one thing, he's been accused by MAGA of not being so supportive of Donald Trump. Trump has said that he's going to stay out of the race, but some of his adherents have been successfully hitting Emmer for not supporting Trump during January 6th, for not endorsing Trump. So Trump, again, is playing a hand in how this House Republican conference race is going to go.
And whoever the House Speaker is, whether it's Tom Emmer or someone else, what will they need to do, not only to coalesce the party, but rebuild the trust, reset the trust of the American people, particularly Republicans, come 2024?
Well, it comes down to just basically doing the job of being the counterpoint to Biden, but of also being the candidate, the House of Representatives that functions on a normal basis, that passes its appropriations bills, it meets the needs of the citizens. You have to build trust one day at a time by going back to work. And that's what it's going to be, one day at a time going back to work for the American people.
Any other of the faces just on the screen, Terry, stand out to you as potential strong candidates?
Well, Kevin Hern does, because he comes from the Midwest. He's got his roots in the Republican Study Committee of the Conservatives. He has one leg up with respect to being sort of in leadership, but not having the baggage of leadership. I look for him to have a good showing here.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.